Hey everybody, in the last video I showed you how I cleaned and polished my Royalex canoe. In today's video I'm going to actually show you how I'm going to install this Pereguard Keel guard. And so I actually have, let's see, an 18-foot section here, but basically what I'm going to do is just apply this onto the front rear keel where it's showing some scuff marks, and I'm going to walk you guys through how I install it. Alright, so I'm ready to start here installing the Pereguard kayak and canoe keel guard here. And so the first step here is you need to make sure that the surface is clean. And so yesterday from where I refinished the surface on here, I pressure washed it, everything's clean. So the first one here, they provide you these little alcohol wipes, but they're just simply not enough here. So the same denatured alcohol I used yesterday to clean the surface, we're gonna start right this, and I actually already wiped down this section here. You can see where the 303 protectant that I applied yesterday is coming off. And so I'm going to just sit here and make sure that this surface is completely clean and that there's no residue left on the canoe here. Alright, so we'll do the other side. And so I'm not sure if on the camera you can see, but basically on the keel you can kind of see where there's a hump, and it kind of starts to basically flatten out right here, where you can see actually the majority of the scratches basically stop right here. And so I think I'm going to actually take the keel guard about right here. So as far as cleaning goes, we'll start with just wiping this off here. So surprisingly, this is over a 30-year canoe. This canoe is over 30 years old, but it's actually the majority of its life has been hanging from the garage. So I had this canoe from when I was a kid, and we used it quite a bit, and then at some point in time my dad pretty much stopped using it, and then I got it from him, and I've probably used it more in the last year than it's been used in the last 20 years. So we're getting ready to go on a 65-mile trip down the Green River next week, and so it's going to be fully loaded, and we're going to be probably having to drag it up and down the beach, and I want to make sure that we don't do any more further damage to the... Alright, so the next step is, just so that I'm kind of putting the guards on in about the same place on the front and back, as you can see the first start of the damage and the scratches is right in this area here. And so if I measure that, looks like about 14 inches or so will get me. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of a mark right here. And then here on the back, you can see where it kind of flattens out, and most of the damage kind of starts right around here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put a mark right here. So then to go ahead and measure from there to here is about 39 inches. So I'm going to come to this side here, and so that they about match, my starting point is going to be right there, and then going to 39, going to 39 inches. Let's see, why is my thing all twisted here? So here, if I can get this to fit right, and so to about right here. So that, and you can see here, same thing, most of the damage is kind of, the worst of the scratches kind of end about right there. So alright, so first two steps obviously is we use the alcohol to scrub the surface and clean the residue off of it. I've now marked where I would like the keel guard to be, and so next one is we'll go and get the heat gun and the keel guard rolled out, and we'll start getting ready to apply it. Okay, so in my case I've got the Cobalt heat gun. So in the instructions here it just says to use a hair dryer, but I've actually watched other videos, and particularly as we get around here, to actually be able to more melt or to make this more pliable requires a little bit more heat than just a heat gun or a hair dryer. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just start kind of heating it up and making it a little bit more pliable. And then I did put a glove on here. I think we'll probably start on the other side, so I can kind of hold this here. And once we get this heated up a little bit, that little tab there is to take off the backing to expose the adhesive, and so we'll go ahead and do that. Start heating this up a little bit. And just kind of feel it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually, oops, I can stop from dropping everything here. I'm going to actually look down the canoe here, and so we'll go ahead and pull off the backing. Let's see. Take off my glove here. And take off the backing here. As well as this. Throw that away. Okay, so we're just going to unfold just a little bit, and then we'll start looking down the canoe to try to make sure that this is centered. Not centered properly here. And I'm just going to again just kind of eyeball down, make sure that it's properly centered. Okay, so now pull this out a little bit. Okay, like that. My air gun here came unplugged. Let's see. Who knows if that's going to stay, but we'll try. Okay, so now kind of with the other videos I saw, looked like this was the hard part also, was just kind of getting it started. So here we go. Make sure that this gets on here right. And I'm just kind of pulling on it to make sure it stretches. Speed up a little bit. And just making sure I'm centered. And here's where the heat gun comes in. It's right here where it's starting to make the angle down. So I can see here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors over here. Okay, I see where my mark is. Right there. So pull this back up. Okay, and so in my case, I think we probably would want to just kind of curl that a little bit so it comes to such a sharp corner. Let's see, just try to see if those are about matching. Okay. Okay, so now this is where, in particular, a heat gun comes in. So I'm just kind of trying to push down and stretch a little bit too. And so these little flutes here, that's what you want to call them, is a flute. Trying to just smooth these out. Now, looks like if I can just get this front piece here to stick, it'll be set. As you can see, I'm trying not to get it so hot. I definitely don't want to cause any kind of damage to the Royalex, or the vinyl coating on the Royalex, I guess you should say. And so you can see, even though I was wearing a glove to kind of protect my hand, that it's not so hot that I can't touch it. So I'm going to turn this off. Let's see if I can get this. I'm just going to kind of push and stretch. See if I can get this to stretch around. This one doesn't want to stick here at the front. Okay, I just got the other side done, so a couple little wrinkles in it and things that I wish were a little bit better, but we'll go ahead and start on this side now. And so just kind of slowly start doing this, and we'll go ahead and heat her up. ahead and cut this to so there's my mark. A little past it. I'll just go ahead and kind of curve the edges here. Like that. The trick here is just finding just the right temperature. Alright, so unfortunately my battery went dead here when I was in the middle of finishing this last bit here. So you can see in my case there's a little bit of rippling right here on the edge, and I'm not sure if maybe a little more heat could have got it out, I'm not sure. But I didn't want to damage the canoe, and I figured we'll just see how it goes from there. But at any rate, so both sides are now done. And so that is how I applied the keel guards to my kayak, or excuse me, to my canoe here. So keep saying kayak, as you can see I've got quite a few. I got, I think, 4 different kayaks. Got a big one here, another one there. So it's a boat rich environment here. So anyway, I hope this helps. Talk to you soon.